Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. As you see with the title, I mean, look, I don't want to do this video. I know what's going to be said. Oh look, camera attention again. I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, yesterday, some things were said, and I'm one of these people. I shouldn't give a fuck, but I do give a fuck, and I want to explain just explain what's actually happened, you know, and justify some of the things that he said that I am, which are just outright not true, and just bring an end to this really, so that I don't want to talk about it again. It's upsetting, to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm quite sad today. I watched some of the stuff he was saying in the live, and it's upsetting that, you know, someone I thought and viewed as a brother has done this and stuff like that, and you know, like I said, I'm upset. Like I'm just a bit emotionless at the moment. I feel a bit shit about the whole thing really. I feel like, but what I have got from last night, if I ever needed clarification that I wasn't the one in the wrong, I got that clarification. Now a lot of people, and I do this, if I keep looking across here to my phone, because Thomas and Hussein are coming over to see the flat. So I've kicked James out to do the video because I just don't want to start crying or anything silly, because it just looks like I'm playing the victim and all that. But I am really upset. I'm not going to lie to you. But if I keep checking my phone, that's why. If we talk about, I mean, I like Lewis. I still like Lewis. That the connection I thought we had in the house was so nice to see. You know, I thought I had found a brother. I thought that I'd found a straight friend that I never thought I'd have when I came out. And is that going to focus? And he helped me with my coming out massively. You know, he was a massive help there. And yes, I should give myself a bit more credit than I have done, but that doesn't take anything away from what he did. And the other housemates did some fantastic things again, notably Thomas and Zozo, but all the housemates were fantastic in that situation. And I believe, you know, Lewis was of course one of the closest people I was, the closest, along with Thomas in the house. He was fantastic. We all saw it. He helped ask me the question and helped me come out. And the other upsetting thing now with everything that's happening, and the fact that he's now saying our friendship was fake. And I want to make it very clear, from my end, the friendship was never fake. I still wanted to be friends with him. I was just a bit tired really. I'm a bit tired of it now. I'm a bit tired of making the effort. I'm a bit tired of him making these subtle banterous digs that we've evidently seen yesterday are not the case. But it's upsetting when someone who has tried to take the credit, you know, publicly said how he should, you know, have the credit and stuff like that, and his fans have basically told me that I deserve no credit for my coming out. It was all Lewis, and I'm not saying Lewis has ever said that, but you know, he has taken credit, and for the most part, you know, rightfully so, because he does deserve some credit for my coming out. Absolutely. I've never once said that he doesn't, and I'll always be grateful for that. But for someone to say that and then to call my coming out fake, and also to sort of like claim that I'm hiding behind being gay or hiding behind the pride flag, like, I mean, it's offensive, it's a ludicrous comment, and it's not a comment you would say to someone if you genuinely still cared about them. Him publicly talking about my mental health issues, I publicly talk about my mental health issues, saying I should own my suicidal thoughts. I'm not going to be publicly suicidal because I don't want to worry any of you guys, and that's not necessarily a good thing. And I'm not saying people shouldn't talk if they're suicidal. They absolutely should, but that's just how I've dealt with it. And I've confided in him about my mental health, and I would have expected someone who, you know, does a lot of work with mental health and knows what it's like to suffer from mental health would have respected that when you speak to somebody in confidence about things, that those things are going to be kept in confidence. To fuck the friend and brotherhood thing off is irrelevant. There's that level of respect that people should have as human beings, and I just feel like he didn't show me that, which is a real shame, because I can't really trust him anymore, and obviously I'm blocked on everything, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But that was very upsetting. And as for the financial situation, trying to sort of like air my financial situation and publicly use that against me, I don't really understand that. I have opened up to him about the fact that I would like to earn money. It's very expensive living in London. I've got this flat and everything paid for until April next year, but I know if I want to stay in London long term, I need to start earning money. There's no dispute about that. But then to accuse me of spending money on the most ludicrous things that I've ever heard of, male escorts and stuff like that, is beyond laughable at this point. If anyone wants to believe those sort of things that he's saying, it says more about you than it does me, really. It's not true. As for, let's talk about the two things where people say that, you know, Lewis is right for saying what he's saying. People cite the video I did with Thomas, exact same location a couple of weeks ago. And yes, Thomas did say some things about Lewis. They always spoke about each other like that. I was always kind of in the middle, you know. And that's because Thomas, as a friend of mine, has been sick of the way Lewis has treated me on occasions, I guess. And yes, I understand by uploading that video, maybe I did condemn what Thomas was saying. I didn't agree with it. You know, I didn't. I would never have said what he was saying in the way he said it, because, like I said, I'm that connection I have with Lewis. You know what I mean? But you know, but the harsh reality of it is, I didn't say anything bad in that video. I said nothing bad about Lewis in that video. It wasn't an anti-Lewis video. We were just talking about our time in Big Brother, and we were talking about the fact when we posted a picture together on Instagram, everyone went ballistic because Lewis wasn't in it. That's why we did the video, in very simple sort of like terms. I don't want to talk about this, I like Boris Johnson, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Oh well. And that video was not, like I say, an anti-Lewis video. The video he uploaded December time was trashing me, accusing me of forcing him to go with our manager, which wasn't the case. We were both fully on board with it. He was saying that I was forcing him to move to London, which was never the case, and he didn't want to go, which again was never the case. He had agreed in motion. We went to London on a trip to look for houses, and I was going to sub his rent in London for 3-4 months. And we agreed to that. And I'm not saying he wasn't thankful for that, because he was very thankful, and he did feel a bit uncomfortable about letting me do that. But that is what happened. So when people are criticising me for being the first to take a swipe, no, he was the one calling me scammer and saying all these sort of stuff. And yes, he said it in banter, and it was banter at the time, but I think we've seen yesterday it wasn't banter. And it's not nice when you hear somebody you're really close to say sort of stuff like that all the time, especially publicly, when he used to like to call me a drug addict, and then everyone started calling me a drug addict. Like, I would like to certify on record I'm not a drug addict. Do I smoke weed? Yes. Am I a drug addict? No. Like, I mean, it's pretty simple. Like, if you believe somebody who smokes weed is a drug addict, well then I'm a drug addict. But like, I don't personally believe that that's the case, because I don't believe there's a lot of drug addicts in the world. I'm just upset, really. I'm upset by it all. I didn't take the first swipe. I didn't snake Lewis. He, unfortunately, is not been able to kind of get over the jealousy of the fact that I won the show, and he believes he would have won the show and should have won the show. And you know, I guess we'll never know if he would have won the show. Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. We can argue about it till we're blue in the face. He didn't win the show. You know, you can't finish 5th in the Olympics and claim that you won the gold medal. You didn't win the gold medal because you didn't get to the end of the race. You didn't get to the final. You didn't win the show. And it's just a shame, because if the shoe was on the other foot, and even if I did feel like I'd been totally mistreated and I'd been robbed and all of this, I'd be so happy for him. I'd be so happy for him, and happy for and as I was when he moved to Bali, really happy with him, for him, sorry, not with him, happy for him and stuff. And it's just, that's the difference, really. He can't be happy for other people. He can't be happy for me, and there's always going to be that animosity and jealousy, and he's obviously hidden it as banter and stuff like that for a long time, and obviously it's all come out now that it's not banter, and I've just become a little bit sick and tired of it. I invited him multiple times down to London. He didn't really show sort of too much of an interest. There's other stuff that's happened behind the scenes that I'm not going to talk about. You know, there's been little bits of drama and stuff like that, arguments. You know, these things happen in friendships and stuff. Nothing that we couldn't have dealt with. I'm not going to air the dirty laundry. The only things I'm airing are just defending myself and the things that he's accused me of. The Manchester thing, that trip where I took 3 people to Manchester, where he's saying I just took Bex and left them in a hotel while I was with a guy. I mean, it's just not true. Like, it's just not true. He wasn't at Manchester, even though I invited and offered to pay for him to come to Manchester. But that trip cost me over £1,000. I didn't ask anyone to pay me anything. I'm not a greedy person. I'm not gonna, just because I'm not publicly going to be telling everybody about much, what I've done and what I haven't done and what I've given this here and then given that to. It's ridiculous. London, Lewis offered to buy my friend a drink. I don't believe, I didn't realise that he offered it because I wasn't. Like, I paid, for him to go all here, there and everywhere. The times we came to London, by the time we stayed at his uncle's, which no one had to pay anything, I did pay for him, and he did offer to pay, and we did, he did pay for restaurants, did pay for some, his food here and there. He never took the piss or anything, but I did give him money, and I was offering him 3 months in London. So to call me a greedy person is a bit ludicrous, really. But the most hurtful things are the stuff that the drug addict and stuff like that. It's, that's not the hurtful things; they're just laughable things. The hurtful things, the other laughable things, even saying I've got 30 fake bloody accounts. All my fan accounts apparently fake accounts. Let me go on my Instagram and I'll show you on my phone. Not that I really have to, but I just find it funny. I just want to show you me chilling with me 30 fake accounts. I don't know whether it's focusing, but it's basically me private. You Fell I Jumped, which is my music one, and my old account, and then this account. And that keeps them on there, but it's stupid, isn't it? I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know why he keeps saying that. Like, I don't know where he's got that information from. But like I say, at this point, he's ran out. He hasn't got anything against me because I haven't done anything wrong to him other than try to be a really good friend to him. And he's been a great friend to me at times, but he's also kept stabbing me in the back very subtly. And I've just kind of come to my end of my tether, and yesterday, obviously, he absolutely blew up based off a video he still hasn't watched, so he's getting triggered over something he hasn't watched. It's upsetting, it's sad. I thought there was a real friendship there. I thought there was a brotherhood for life, and it turns out there wasn't. I think I've just got to now accept that. It's just not nice, him calling me a snake and stuff like that. The sad, the thing with it is, I'd still like to sort it out, I'd still like to talk it out, but at the same time, I'm a bit sick of being mugged off by people, and I feel a bit like I've been a bit mugged off. And the stuff he was saying was extremely hurtful. Watching some of the stuff he said in the lives and the videos and on the thing, calling my coming out fake. It's not nice. Calling me a huge game player, saying we were never friends in the first place. It's not very nice. But it was always real from my end. The memories I shared with him, I'll always cherish. I'll always be grateful for everything he's done for me and the support he's given me. And I always want to see him do well. I like to see him happy. When I see something's not going right for him, I'm not jumping for joy or jumping with glee. And I think the sad reality is that, if he'd have won the show, if he'd have done better than me, we'd probably still be friends now, but that didn't happen. And I think I've just got to kind of let it go. It's just a real shame, really, because he was family. It's always bad when you get mugged off by family, and I feel a bit mugged off and a bit upset by the stuff he said. And a lot of the stuff he said knowing that his fans are going to go over and come at my life and cause me grief for it for weeks. The drug addict thing, for example, was just ridiculous. It's just never ending. Like I say, I watched some of the clips from the live, and it's upset me. I was in the shower and I started crying, to be honest with you. I'm not saying it for attention, but I did, just because it's not nice when you hear someone say those things about you. And I know someone will probably say, oh well, he wouldn't have liked hearing what Thomas said about him. First, he hasn't watched the video, and secondly, I'm sure, I know he won't find it nice, and he probably wouldn't find this video nice if he watched it, but I've never slagged him off. I never once mean to have slagged him off. If the video offended him, I apologise, but I'm sorry, Lewis. At that point, you'd already done a lot of fucking things to screw me over, and a lot of things very subtly, very quietly. There are a lot of incidents that, you weren't telling the full story with. You were causing unnecessary grief for me, and you weren't being a good friend. So if you are not putting other people's feelings into account when you say the things that you do, then why the hell should anybody else? This is not, the world doesn't evolve around Lewis, unfortunately. And for saying Thomas groomed me, like, it's just clutching at straws now. It's just a shame, because I feel like I have to defend myself after he says anything. And I'm done with it, really. Like, I've said my piece. I've said everything I've said. There's nothing really for me to say. I'm upset I'm sad. I wish it wouldn't have ended like this, but it has, so there's nothing I can do about it. But I'm not going to stand for him saying outright false things, like calling me a drug addict, saying I've hired male escorts and things like this, and said I've had 30 accounts. It's ludicrous. And I'm not going to stand for somebody making me feel bad for my sexuality. No one should ever feel bad about their sexuality. And I know Lewis says some stuff sometimes, he doesn't know how that may make someone else feel, but the way he said that just looked very, very bad. You know, I'm not hiding behind the pride flag. I'm not hiding behind the colours of pride, and just anyone out there, never apologise for being proud and for having pride. No one, unless you go through that, truly understands how tough it is to discover your sexuality and then to come out and to just go through the whole journey with it. So don't let anyone ever make you feel bad for talking about it, for being proud about it or anything. I'm very, very proud, and I'm very proud of what I did. I'm very proud of how I came out. I'm very thankful for how everyone helped me. And yeah, you should be proud if you've gone through that journey, or you're going through that journey now and you're still fighting. So don't let people at all make you feel bad for that. Like I say, him calling me a snake and stuff like that, I'm not going to call him a snake. I'm not going to say anything bad. I'm just going to say, you know, the truth. You know, the Bali thing, we didn't go on holiday to Bali because we'd agreed to kind of like do this London move. He then sort of said he didn't want to do it. I was talking about him coming and seeing me in London, coming and meeting me. I said I'd pay for him for the transport and stuff like that. He can stay at mine, we just have a chill time. And he wasn't sort of like, he was busy and stuff, he wasn't interested in stuff like that. So I thought, I'm not going to keep asking, like I'll let him make the effort and stuff. And obviously then he moved to Bali, and obviously at that point I'm not going to give him a holiday to Bali because he's already there. So, you know, if me and Lewis were regularly talking and stuff like we were for the first sort of month when we came out of the house, absolutely, I'd have gone on holiday with him. Me and Bex need to go on holiday. I'd like to go away with Thomas somewhere. That's the sort of, you know, it's not bullshit. And when he treats me like the way he has treated me, I don't think it's unfair for me to withdraw the holiday thing anyway. Not that I have done that. Obviously now it's withdrawn, absolutely. And as for the video, him criticising me for the video, well, he'd done a video in December. It was about a 30-minute one, which basically trashed me and was just rude in every single way, and just total fallacies. And unfortunately, he's one of these people I think tells himself a lie so much that he believes it. It's a shame. I'm a bit, like I say, that's that. Everything that happened, the stuff he said on his story is not true. My coming out wasn't fake. I'm not going through that again. I've gone through that too many times. Like, think what you want to think at the end of the day. I'm not really that fussed. I don't think him bringing up my financial situation and also my mental health and how suicidal I am, stuff that I told him in confidence, is really a mature thing for a 28-year-old person to be doing that to a 19-year-old. And if he is concerned about my mental health, I would ask him to think about how publicly sharing information that I've shared with you privately may do to my, what that may do to my mental health. That is, if he does have any ounce of care for anyone other than himself. And I think he does, and I think he's a nice guy, I really do. I don't think that it was fake. I just think, unfortunately, I think the root of it really is he just can't get over the fact I won. And I know it's hard, and I can't imagine how hard it is for him. He feels robbed, he feels like he should have won. But I guess we're different people. I would be happy for him in his shoes, I really would, and I'd honestly mean that. And he just can't be happy for me, and since the show's finished, there's been so many things, subtle things here, there and everywhere. And I've just kind of grown up and got to the stage where I'm a bit sick of it now. And yesterday was just the knife in the back, really. But just to put on record, I never stabbed Lewis in the back. If anyone stabbed anyone in the back, it was him. That video last night was not the video with Thomas was not the first time one of us had spoken ill of each other. And I hadn't spoken ill in him in that video, but he did speak ill of me and make total lies up in the other things. So please take everything he says with a pinch of salt. If he says anything that ludicrous, I'll defend myself. But I just want to say thank you for all the support and the love that you guys have given me, and for seeing it as you can. Like I say, I'm probably going to be a bit quiet on social media because I feel like I'm kind of like just putting on a brave face. I'm really struggling with this, to be honest with you. I feel like my life's falling apart in many ways, but I don't want to do all that because I don't want people to be like, oh, Cameron's fishing for attention. He wants everyone to feel sorry for him. A lot of the reasons my life is fucked is because of myself. I care too much. I allow people to mug me off, and this is not even me talking about Lewis here, just in general. I allow people to mug me off and get away with it, and it happens with pretty much everyone and everything, and I keep allowing it to happen. And And the last thing, I mean, I even look at the whole Kian being on his story last night. It's ludicrous. Like, Lewis knows with the coming out how Kian, you know, he was very annoyed with Kian and how Kian acted, and we're not going to get into that. It's done, it's old, it's new, and I just felt them two last night were kind of doing it as a bit of a thing, because obviously I'm not really talking to Kian at the moment because I'm just trying to move on. I wish him well, but I want to move on. He hurt me, mugged me off, and I'm wanting to just kind of like stop having people in my life that are mugging me off type thing. And I've still got, and that's why if I'm a bit quiet on social media and stuff, I hope you understand, but I'm done with the video. It's quite long. That's it really. I'm a bit sick of it. I'm just gonna, you know, don't worry about me, guys. Like, I'm gonna be active as much as I can on social media so that you all know I'm okay and everything. I love you all. The support you've given me is amazing. Big Brother's changed my life. We're coming up to the year anniversary and stuff now, so I'm trying to look back, you know, with happiness and stuff at something that's changed my life. I've had a hectic fucking year, and I think I've bottled a lot of it up, and I feel like it's coming out, but I've got an amazing boyfriend in James that I've kicked out so I could do this video. I've got an amazing best friend in Bex. I've got an amazing best friend in Thomas. I've got an amazing family, and I've got all you guys, and I'm just going to lean on you guys for the next few months while I sort my life out, and you know, and hopefully you guys will be there at the end of it all. So thank you all for being there for me. I better let James back in now. God love him, and God love you all. I love you all so much, and Lewis is not going to watch this video, but Lewis, if you do watch this video, I just want you to know it was never fake. My friendship with you was never fake from my end, and I wish you honestly, from the bottom of my heart, the best, and I am very, very grateful for everything you've done for me, and I'm really genuinely sad and a little bit, I don't know, heartbroken is the wrong word, that this is finished the way it has, but you know, that's life. Sometimes things don't go the way you want them to be, and you know, that's life. God love you all. I'm done with this video.